Hey guys, welcome to my video. I'm just going to apologise about the lighting because I'm in the bedroom and little one is asleep over there, so the curtain is half closed. Half closed? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about my labour and delivery story and why it's made me never want children again. But do not let this put you off if you are expecting. So I was due to give birth on Wednesday, the 15th of November 2017, so last year. So I went to the midwife to the usual check, and because it was the due date, you know, they say your first baby never comes on time. I don't know if that's real, if that's true or not, but for me it was true. So she offered me the stretch and sweep. I will link below or attach some info of what that is because I'm not good at explaining that, but it basically is meant to bring on labour, but it's not 100%. So I declined that because I wanted for labour to start naturally, but that didn't happen. So a week went by, so going to the next Wednesday, no idea what the date was then, but went to the next Wednesday, I went back to the midwife, and then she offered me the stretch and sweep again. So I said yes because it was a week later, and she kind of convinced me to have it because she just said there was nothing to lose. It's not going to hurt baby, it's not going to hurt me. Some women do find it really uncomfortable, and some women find that it hurts. For me personally, it didn't hurt at all. It's just a little bit uncomfortable, but come on, you've got someone going into your cervix. That sounds scary. Again, I will link what that is. So I did the stretch and sweep, and well, not me personally, she did the stretch and sweep, and nothing happened straight away. Obviously it's not going to happen the minute she does it, but a couple of hours went by, and then I started to get really like what I felt to be strong contractions, but I was a first time mum, so obviously I had no idea what a contraction felt like. It's a really weird feeling, but I'll get onto that later on. So I started to feel the contractions, but that lasted for 3 days. Obviously he just wasn't meant to come then. So this turned out to be Friday the 24th of November 2017. Obviously it's not like still in my stomach. So it was Friday the 24th of November, and I not really felt any any movement, sorry. So that was quite a worry for other people. For me, I didn't really see it as a worry because he was still moving, but if you feel less movement or just any change at all in your baby's movement, please get checked, because it could be nothing or it could be something. So you'd rather look like an idiot for it to be nothing than for you to be like, oh, it's nothing, and then it be something. So please get checked. So anyway, I went to the hospital to get checked out. He was fine, still moving, but I just couldn't feel him. I don't know if that was because my placenta was in a different place or not. I'm not too sure. I think they said I had an anterior to placenta. I think that's where your placenta's at the front of everything rather than where it's, I have no idea where it's meant to be, but yeah. So he was fine, but because I was meant to be getting induced the following Monday, so it would have been the 27th of November, they decided to just do it then, because why have him back in 3 days? If I'm not happy personally with his movements, then they'd do it there and then. So that was when they decided to put the 24-hour pessary in, I think that's how you pronounce it. And nothing happened again straight away, as it's not going to. I was 1 centimetre from the time that I had the stretch and sweep on the Wednesday. So I stayed at 1 centimetre for literally 3 days. Nothing just progressed. I was just 1 centimetre for ages. And then I went for a walk around the hospital a couple of hours later, and then I started to feel like a tightening, which is what they say a start of contraction is. I had no idea what a contraction was or what it felt like, because obviously I was a first time mum, so you wouldn't know. The way that I would describe a contraction is when you have a really, really bad period pains and someone's punching you in the stomach at the same time. That's the only way I can explain it. It's a horrible feeling. But it can't be that bad because loads of women do it again and again. So personally I would not do that again, but yes. So it got to around night time when the nighttime nurses or midwives switch over, and they do checks every 3 hours, because I was in a ward with different women that was in there for different reasons. Some was in there for early pregnancy, and some was in there for like late pregnancy, like me, getting induced. Some had bleeds, you know, they were all in there for different reasons. So they come around and check every few hours each baby to just keep us at ease, really, and so they know that every baby's okay, and if it's not, then they can act on it. So I was waiting for the nurse to come around, but in the end it got really bad, so I pressed the buzzer, and not gonna lie, they were really lovely, really, really lovely. I guess they have to be, but there was one that was quite a grumpy one. Maybe she was having a bad day, I don't know, but that made me not really want to press the buzzer in the end. I don't know why she was grumpy, but like, you want to be able to feel like you can press the buzzer to ask for help. But in the end, I think she realised that I really was in pain, because I think there was a girl next to me that just kept saying she was in pain, but the nurse is like, you're not, because on the monitor it was saying that she wasn't getting contractions, whereas on my monitor it's saying I was, so I wasn't lying. I don't know why you would lie about that, because your baby will come when it comes. But so I was struggling to that point, so she gave me some medication. I have no idea what it was. It might have been paracetamol, I have no idea. And she said just sip some water, do not gulp the water because you will be sick. I gulped the water and I threw up. I didn't listen to her. I don't know why I didn't listen. I just think I had a dry mouth or something, in pain, and I gulped that shit down. Instantly regretted it. I am never sick, like I never physically throw up. I think when it got to the 4th time of me throwing up, I think they realised that I was in active labour at that point. So because I kept pressing the buzzer, I didn't really want to press it much anymore, so I waited around maybe an hour and a half until the next thing, and she said, are you okay? And I said, no, not really, I'm not okay. Maybe I was over dramatising that, but I really did not feel okay. So then she said, okay, let's get you on the monitor and see. And then I said, can I go to the toilet? Because I felt like I really needed a wee. So as I went to the toilet, my waters broke. They were so loud that I generally thought that the baby had come out, because it was just like massive crash into the toilet water. So obviously that crashed onto that, making it very loud, and then my contractions stopped. So I was like, he's out, that's me done, that's easy. But no, it wasn't that simple. So I waddled out, I like cleaned up, and I waddled out, and like literally I waddled out in a top. I was naked, but I did not care. I was in pain. I did not care. All these women looking at me, and I'm just like, help. But they were really lovely. So I waddled back, got my clothes back. No, I just picked them up, I think, and then I walked back out, and she was like, are you okay? And then I said, no. And then she said, why didn't you call me? Because I've been sitting there for ages on my own. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. I was 1 centimetre all of those hours, and then I was 7 centimetres at that point. So she checked to see how Leo felt about my waters breaking, and this is where it went wrong. So she put me on the monitor. She all of a sudden turns the monitor away from me so I can't see it. She turns the sound off so I can't hear it. She presses the emergency button, runs out the room and says, can somebody help me please? she obviously didn't have time to tell me what was wrong, where she had to get help. At that point I was stressing out because I had no idea what was going on. You know, I did not know what to expect, and I certainly did not expect to hear the next words. So the other midwife came in with her, and she said, we can't seem to find a heartbeat. At that point, rushed me off. They told me to ring my partner. I rang him. I couldn't really tell him what was going on because I didn't actually know, but I just said, you need to get here now. And he came in eventually, but while he was on the way, I was getting told that they couldn't find a heartbeat at all. They were trying to inject the cannula thing in my arm. They couldn't get it in this, they couldn't get it in this side at all at first, and it was really bleeding because I was shaking and pain. I had another midwife trying to like shove this gas and air down my throat, and I'm like, it's not gonna help me. It's not. I'm still in pain. And people say, oh, gas and air is my best friend. Like, that shit does not help. I mean, it helped a little bit, but not much. It just makes you feel even more sick, to be honest. But so I had maybe 8 to 10 plus doctors and midwives in there. It became real scary real quick. I did not expect that. You know, I just thought I'd have contractions, my water's break, and out comes the baby. Well, not that simple, but do you know what I mean? And instead I got rushed off to theatre. In the theatre room they did say baby's heartbeat is back, but it's very, very weak. We can go back to the delivery room and try for a natural birth, or we can just carry on with the C-section. But because he said there's a chance the heartbeat could go again, I just wanted to get him out safely. They gave me this, I think it was like pethidine. I don't know, it's an injection. It was not an epidural because I did not want that at all. I think it was pethidine or something, I'm not too sure. But that was my best friend, but I couldn't feel my legs at all. So that was my best friend. They took the gas and air off me, didn't need it anymore. And then my partner arrived, obviously, in that time. He looked beautiful in that gown. Honestly, he that just took my mind off it all. And then at 8 o'clock in the morning, I heard the first cry that Leo made, and I'll never ever forget it. After going through all of that, he was 9 pounds 7 ounces, and they said to me that I would not have been able to get him out vaginally anyway because of I am small. And obviously they'd seen down there, so I would not, and to be honest I wouldn't even want to get a 9 pound 7 baby out of that area. Not a chance. And I didn't expect him to be that big because everyone was like, it's just water, it's not baby. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, all of it, this is baby, it ain't water. But obviously people think they know better than your own body, but you know. So all of that happened, and then she gave him to me, but I was so out of it and so in pain that I was just like, okay, in this weird awkward position laying on the table. And then I started to shake. I was shaking so bad. I think it was where I'd thrown up previously 8 times. It was just a shock. So then Leo and my partner Bradley went out of the room with the baby. He went out of the room with the baby, so it was just me getting sewn back up, and I was alone. I was shaking. I was still scared because I'd just gone through a major operation, gone through all of that. I was trying to get through my brain of what had just happened, and then I got to finally meet the baby properly, and I just, like, to be honest, I didn't fall in love like you would. I felt so depressed that I didn't get that connection with Leo straight away, like normal. Like mums usually, they fall in love straight away as soon as they see the baby. Don't get me wrong, I didn't hate him, I just didn't feel that connection straight away. I think it's because of what I went through and what I'd just been through, that I was just in shock that I didn't have the birth that I wanted. But I did get to meet my beautiful baby, and you know, after I'd held him for a couple of hours, or I think it was like 20 minutes or so, I started to throw up again. I've never thrown up so much in my life. It doesn't help that I did not sleep for over 2 days because I was in contractions, but nothing was working. If it wasn't for that midwife, Leo would not be here today, because she acted so quick, that it's her fault that he is alive, and I'm so grateful. And I didn't quite catch her name, but if I could thank her, then I so would. I might go back and try to find her to say thank you. I know it's 9 months later, but she did save his life, and I can certainly say that I have the connection with Leo now. Definitely, we definitely have that mum and son bond. I managed to breastfeed Leo for 8 weeks, but for some reason he was losing weight rather than gaining it. It's normal for babies to lose a little bit of weight, but he was losing quite a lot every day rather than gaining it. He's just a big boy, so he just needed food. So he was formula fed after 8 weeks. So I was proud that I did it for 8 weeks, but nothing went to plan. I mean, nothing went to plan. So thank you for listening. I'm really sorry that it was a long video. I'm really sorry that it was a bit messed up, but I'd filmed this 5 times, so it is what it is. If you like this video and it, you know, might help you, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, then let me know in the comments why you don't like it, so that I can improve my next video. Hopefully I'll have a tripod by then, because we're dealing with a book and a box right now. Yeah, so if you like what you see, God, that's so cringy, subscribe, it will help me out. And I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever that may be. Thanks guys, bye.